Here's what a match day experience is like in Liverpool. This was our first game and I tried to add as many tips as possible to help you guys prepare. So we stayed at the Novotel Hotel, which is located in Paddington Village, for 3 nights. This was included in our package along with our football ticket. And it's about 12 minutes away from the stadium and about 10 minutes away from the city centre. It was very evident and obvious that the hotel was packed out because of the game. People flew in from all over the world. We saw people in the lift, in the lobby, and obviously for breakfast. People were dressed up and you could actually just feel the atmosphere in the hotel. And of course we were kitted out as well, as you guys can see. This was us making our way to the lobby. It's the morning of the game.
Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool.
He's very excited. He was up at like 5 in the morning chanting and singing and which way are we going? And yeah, derby. Excited. As you can see, we were very excited. Like, I can't explain the feelings that we had. This was a dream come true for my hubby from the time he was a kid. So when it comes to leaving for the game, you want to leave a little bit early, especially if it's your first time. The game that we were attending was at 12 o'clock and we left the hotel around 9:30. So you want to leave early for a couple reasons. Firstly, the roads around the stadium close a couple hours before the game, so you might not have access by car and you might need to walk to the actual stadium and get dropped off nearby. Get there early just to soak up the atmosphere. Like, it's kind of like a mini fan park within the grounds of the stadium. You get to watch a lot of things happening. There might be a live band, and if you're a first-time visitor, it's just nice to soak up the atmosphere and just experience everything, because this was such a great experience for us. There's so many things that we watched on YouTube that didn't really depict what I'm sharing on my screen, but this was the match itself, the match day. This was the stadium, almost 2.5 hours. As you guys can see, the roads were open, cars are moving along. You can get to the stadium and you can buy a lot of souvenirs before. If you're not kitted out for the game, you can certainly purchase scarves and hats. Some of the prices for the scarf and hats are the same as in store. And the quality is really good as well. That's my father-in-law and my husband doing some pre-shopping before the game, and there's no negotiating. Maybe you can, but we weren't able to negotiate. And yeah, this was the atmosphere before the game. So I'm going to share some footage of inside the stadium. So we visited the stadium the day before, but the atmosphere on the day itself is just unreal. This was just me taking a selfie video and trying to capture all of the moments because I knew that I wanted to create this YouTube video. You'll see my father-in-law now walking across to the guards to find out what time the doors open so that we could enter the stadium. But it opens, I think, about 2 hours before, and if you get there early enough, you can just walk around, soak up what's happening around the stadium. You can take lots of pictures. So there's all of these places around the stadium where there's monuments and you can just stand, take your pictures. There's also a lot of street art around the Liverpool area. So if you do get there early, walk around the town itself and you'll notice that there's a ton of street art. What I found really fascinating was that these homes were literally a stone throw across the stadium. Like, if you just keep watching this video, this house is practically directly across the stadium itself. So these are proper Scouse people who have access to the stadium. It's absolutely unreal, the community that Liverpool has, and I'm pretty sure most soccer teams is just so special. For most people going to watch an English Premier League game, this opportunity just comes around like once in a lifetime. So whilst you're there, make sure you check out the stadium and like I said, soak up the energy. I kept on saying soak up the energy. This is what I was talking about. So prior to the game, like about 2 hours before, there's a whole lot of stuff that's happening just out of the stadium. This is within the stadium grounds. As you guys can see, the guy that is dribbling the ball, there's a shop, a Liverpool shop that is open on match day as well, so you can go do some last minute purchases if you'd like, especially if you want to get kitted out. And this is just some of the fans, sort of like a fan park, just soaking up the energy. The other thing that I do want to add is that there's a ton of places around the stadium and outside the stadium and inside the stadium to grab a quick bite. So if you are missing lunch or breakfast and you are hungry, you can certainly get some great snacks. I'm not sure about prices. We already had breakfast, but you definitely can get some food. This was something that I found really cool as well, that if you are around the stadium on match day itself, I'm not sure if this is open all year round, but I'm pretty sure it is just open on match day. you can customize a shirt, a Liverpool t-shirt, so you can buy it on the premises of the ground. It's an official shirt and you can get your name or whatever name you would like printed on the merchandise. Now, I can't speak for all clubs, but in Liverpool we went for 2 games, and the staff that work at the games are absolutely experienced. The facilities that we had access to, in terms of the timing, in terms of information, they were like on point. So as soon as the doors decided to open, we were like front and center in the queues, and we were ready to queue up. There wasn't really much queues for us to follow, but all we simply did was just pop in, and we had our tickets. As you can see, my husband's got his ticket on his phone, so we had our tickets on our phone, and you just basically go in. They check you at security. There are a lot of things that you are not allowed to take, which is on the website, so I do suggest you going onto Liverpool's website for the match day and see what you can take in. And then he just pops his phone into the scanner and scans himself in, and I guess now the game begins. So if you watched my video on how to purchase tickets, you would know that these were not our seats that we were allocated. However, these seats were pretty good. We were sitting in the main stand on the upper section, on the upper stand, and we had a full view of the entire ground. I was actually quite grateful that we got these seats. Considering what we went through to get these tickets, we were just happy to be in the stadium to watch the game. So I will also share another video on picking tickets and the different types of stands that you have access to. The ground is really massive, and they are building a completely new stand, which was where we were supposed to have our original seats. As you can see, my husband pointing, it's where the Nike sign is. That's where the new seats are, right above the gray area. And the stand across the road is the Kenny Dalglish stand, and the stand that is on our right hand side, which is the LFC stand, that's the actual cup. So that is just a brief outline of the different stands, and this might help you for planning purposes, like when you're booking tickets and you're not sure where to sit. I will add another video, so just be sure to check the screen or my link in the description box. One of the other reasons that it's really nice to get to the stadium early is that you get really nice pictures with no one in the background. So one of the other perks is if you get there early enough, you get to see the players drive in. So you could either find out where the players enter the stadium and make your way there before the game, and you can welcome them. Of course, we couldn't really see much standing from on top of the ground where we were actually sitting. There was a window, but what I actually want to show you guys was the day that we watched this game. It was a Merseyside derby, so we played Everton, and I found it really amusing how close these two rival teams are in terms of location. Liverpool and Everton are literally a stone throw away. They are separated by a park called Stanley Park, and if you look to your far right, you'll notice the first little patch of grass, but you'll notice a bigger patch of grass on the further end, and that's Stanley Park, and that's what separates both the teams. The other tip that I want to leave you guys with is that if you get to any of the grounds that you're watching a English Premier League game from, you can use the bathrooms and buy some food before so that you can concentrate on the game. So at this point, the players started to come out so that they could warm up on the ground, so we were able to watch that. So that's another perk of getting to the grounds early if you are going for the very first time, is that you get to watch your favorite team come out and warm up. And like I said, if you are seated on any of the below stands, you are able to get really up and close and take some nice pictures as well. So this was our first game that we watched at Liverpool. A couple days later, we watched a Europa League game, and we sat in the exact same stand, but much lower. So we were able to get up and close to see the players and just take some videos whilst they were warming up. So that was one of the perks of sitting lower. However, the lower seats really do hurt your neck, especially when you're trying to focus on the game. I preferred the upper seats because we were able to have a full view of the ground itself. Many people would probably think we were absolutely crazy for getting there like 2.5 hours before the game started, but it really didn't even feel like 2.5 hours. It felt like all of 20 minutes. The ground fills up so quickly, and before you know it, the game is starting, and once the game starts, it's just so quick. So remember I said get there early if you want to take some nice pictures. Well, if you do get there like 30 minutes or an hour before the game, this is what you can expect with your pictures, and this is how it's going to look. But the game's about to start now, and the crowd went crazy as the players came out, and what I didn't expect was how this atmosphere would make you feel. Like, The atmosphere in Liverpool, I've been told, is one of the best atmospheres in the world, and I can certainly attest to that. So once the game started, you get so immersed into the game and nothing else matters. The crowd is singing and cheering, and the first half of the game was very intense. It was a back and forth situation and the score was 0-0. And then the second half was when things actually got a little bit more heated up. Liverpool was on top of the ball, and in the 75th minute, Mohamed Salah scored a penalty and the crowd went absolutely crazy. The second goal was scored in the 97th minute, and it was such an unbelievable match. I mean, it was a memory to last a lifetime. I was so happy that it was a win for Liverpool. I've watched other videos where people ended up supporting their teams and they lost and they travel from such a far distance. I mean, it would have been such a shame to have gone back home after a loss, especially when you travel from so far and you get to watch your team. This was our first experience watching Liverpool play, and like I said, we watched a ton of videos online before booking, and some of the tips I shared I wish I knew before attending. I have also added other videos which you guys can take a look, like how to book tickets, the sites that we use, as well as a stadium tour and getting to know the different stands. If you enjoyed this video, please drop some love by liking the video or leaving a comment, and I wish you all the best for your experience when you get to attend the game.
To me, we win the Premier League, he said so.